Alright, we're back, part 2. I didn't realize I ran out of time here, man, so I apologize. So, I'm going to whip through these other pictures here, and then we'll work on the OVW one. As we last left off, I don't know where the last video ended up at, so here we go again with a picture of myself along with Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holds. And the guy you see right at the bottom corner here, if I can get a little bit closer, is none other than the Nature Boy Ric Flair's son, David Flair. And he was in the Ohio Valley Wrestling briefly before they let him go. He really didn't have much talent to go anywhere, basically is what they thought, so they let him go. This is me along with the Big Red Machine before he removed his mask, Kane. And again, this is my Ohio Valley Wrestling days. This was taken around 2000, 2001. And again, I got the beard and the long hair going because I ended up doing the whole Macho Man thing, which you'll see right now in this next picture. This guy had a great career in the WWE, and then he let it go. I mean, he just decided to get out at a young age. His heart wasn't into it. He tried out for the NFL, didn't succeed. Now he's over doing mixed martial arts over in Japan. And, of course, I'm talking about Brock Lesnar, and also along with Smooth Johnny Spade and me in the middle here doing the whole Macho Man Randy Savage thing. But this is Brock Lesnar back in 2000, around 2000, 2001, before he would go on to work with the World Wrestling Entertainment. As you can see, very huge guy. And, of course, he had a very good career wrestling Goldberg, obviously, Hogan. He worked with some very big names. Another big, actually both these guys went on to do very well, one more than the other. Unfortunately, the one guy with the dark hair, his name is Rico Constantino. WWE, they brought him in as Rico. He had the sideburns on. I don't know if you remember that or not. And he was the stylist. That was his character. The guy in the blonde hair is now the WWE champion. And, of course, here's me with my Macho Man thing. But, of course, I'm talking about in the white shirt, Mr. John Cena. And back then in OVW, he was known as the Prototype. He was not able to use his real name at the time. But that's John Cena. And, again, over here is Rico Constantino, who I believe is now back in Las Vegas. But he was also an American Gladiator champion. If you remember the old TV show American Gladiators, Rico was one of the champions there. This is a picture of father and son, along with me in the middle, of Cowboy Bob Orton and Mr. Randy Orton. And again, this is in Ohio Valley Wrestling around 2000, 2001. And Randy would go on, of course, now work in the WWE, working along with Edge and John Cena and quite a few of the other guys there. This guy was huge. You know, he looks big on TV, but when you're standing next to him here, he's even bigger. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Undertaker. Check this out. This is me along with The Undertaker, again, 2000, 2001. And look at all the tattoos this guy has. Very quiet, very nice guy to work with. And he just pretty much keeps to himself in the locker room. This is the father of The Rock. And for those of you who know your history, that's, of course, the Soul Man, Rocky Johnson. And let's get the zoom going. There we go. Along with me. Can't tell which is which, can you? Alright, and this man supposedly will be making his way back to the WWE. Maybe by the time you look at this, he will be back. Maybe he won't be. Who knows? But he left with a very promising career in the WWE. Has a band called Fozzy. And he's been in the TNA as well as touring all across the United States with his band. And, of course, I'm talking about Chris Jericho. This is Chris Jericho and myself. And, again, this is 2000, 2001 back in Ohio Valley Wrestling. This was actually a unique picture. Mick Foley at the time had gone on to write a book, and he had also gone on hiatus, and nobody had talked to him in a while. And he showed up at the Louisville Gardens for Ohio Valley Wrestling. I was to go pick him up from the airport, and I couldn't even tell who the guy was because he had shaved his head. But this is me, along with Mick Foley, right after he had shaved his head. Let me try to get a little bit closer. There we go. And it was hard to tell that was Mick Foley, I mean, besides the beard, because he had real long hair at the time, and then all of a sudden it was gone when we went to go pick him up. This is me along with, and I wish this guy would have gone on to bigger things with the WWE, but he didn't. Here's me in full Macho Man mode, along with the Ultimate Fighting Champion, Mr. Ron H2O Waterman. Very big guy, and again, He's been working with the Ultimate Fighting UFC and mixed martial arts as well, from what I've been reading on the internet. So there's me along with him. And I've got a few more here for you. Me along with Bobby Eaton, and then the guy in the blue is the guy who actually was the person that got rid of me basically in OVW at the time. Kenny Bolin was his name. But here's me in the white shirt, along with one half of the Midnight Express, beautiful Bobby Eaton there in the yellow shirt. And as I mentioned, the guy in the blue, Kenny Bolin. Here's me along with a guy very well known in the Midwest. Not sure, again, depending on where you're watching this from, but you may remember him. He was in WCW for a while as well. That's me along with Flash Flanagan. And I've got a couple more. Here's me along with Danny Basham, who now is, of course, called Damaja, and that's what he was called back in OVW. Now he's down in TNA working with Jim Cornette. But here's me along with him. And he's got the bald head going at the time. That's back again, 2001, I think. But that's Danny Basham / Damaja. And finally, here's me along with Rob Conway, who went on to the WWE. And then the guy behind the mask was Doug Basham, but he was known as the Machine in Ohio Valley Wrestling. And of course, there's me doing my my Macho Man thing. So there you go. There's a bunch of pictures there from my days in wrestling, and along with OVW. And my next video, I will go in full details, as promised, about my time with Ohio Valley Wrestling. Got a lot of things to talk about, but I wanted to at least share those pictures with you. Because, again, I've made music videos, but I don't know how many of the pictures went too fast. And I thought I'd give a little insight about who's in these pictures. So hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or comments, please do leave them. And I will, as always, thank you for watching.